Hello, fellow Star Wars fans. My name is Star Raptor, and welcome to the channel. This is my review for Star Wars The Acolyte, The Crystal Crown. This is written by Tessa Gratton, and it's part of Star Wars The High Republic. The first thing I really like about this book is the cover design. We're staying consistent with the High Republic Golden Age of the Jedi by having that spine, and plus like the new little mini title at the end, subtitle, set in the era of the High Republic. So this is what we're going to get, I'm guessing, for the future High Republic stories that aren't part of phase 1 or 2 or 3 of the initiative that sadly has come to an end. You can check out all my content on that in previous videos. But yes, this book is a prequel to The Acolyte. We follow the characters of not only Master Soul a little bit, but we also get the main characters Jecki and Yord. And where this picks up is, these guys are padawans at this point. They're on Coruscant. They get called to this mission. They go to this place, this planet that is very steeped in kind of a warlike culture, and they're very proven by their strength in their combat and whatnot. And the Republic has an interest to bring them into the Republic. So they are there to kind of Jecki and Soul and the Master of Yord and Yord to go ahead and figure out how they can get these guys as part of the Republic. And one of the things that the people would like is if the Padawans Jecki and Yord would enter into what I think of as like their Hunger Games, if you will, where they have 3 different tasks. First one's trial by combat, next one is survival. The last one is this great hunt of these very dangerous creatures, and they are there to show their appreciation to the culture and in hopes of getting these guys to join the Republic. So that's the gist of the story here. And as interesting as that might sound, I did feel like this story, to be quite honest, dragged on quite a bit. There's a lot of talking. There's a decent bit of action, but it really doesn't pick up until like more than halfway into the book, if you ask me. And you also have the character of Leo Graf, and yes, if you're a fan of the High Republic, you're gonna know all about the Grafs, and they are not the most trustworthy people on in the galaxy, right? So we get to see the ramifications of that. Slight little nods to the High Republic Phase 3. But this doesn't feel like that much of a prequel to the Acolyte, but it doesn't really feel like an epilogue to the High Republic Phase 3 as much as Wayseeker did. But my biggest issue with this book is it just felt like there wasn't much for these characters to unfortunately do. And it's not a slight to Tessa Gratton. I think this is more a problem of the tie-ins in general over at Lucasfilm. For these authors to get these notes from Lucasfilm to create stories around characters and different things, and the scripts of the things change, and not all the information is given to the authors. So then when they watch the show, they have to maybe make changes, and that could hurt the product overall. So I think a lot of cooks maybe were in the kitchen. This is just my pure speculation. There's nothing to go off of here, but it kind of feels that way. This is a story, unfortunately, it feels like it's not much impact on the characters. Like the character of Jecki and the character of Yord start off the same and end the same, right? Jecki is that happy-go-lucky character that wants to have fun, is really excited to be an adventurer and a Jedi. But then you have Yord, who's very serious, and all he cares about is just getting through this task to get onto his Jedi trials to finally become a Jedi Knight. And it's these conversations that keep coming up and up and up, where it's like, okay, I feel this way, but then I feel this way with these other characters. Like, it feels like the wheels are spinning a little bit here. We're stuck on one planet. The planet, it's about a lot of crystals. You got the idea is like this is a crystal planet. Even the sentient species there are humanoid, but they have like crystal encrusted parts of their body, which is kind of neat. They have a different way of fighting with these different kind of spears. So there's good ideas in here, but I just don't think that they are embellished nearly enough to make this something that was worth reading in my eyes. I did feel generally pretty bored by this book, if I'm being honest. And the pacing is kind of really, really slow. It wasn't until like the 3/4 in that you really feel a little bit of urgency, but I didn't feel that hook. And when I'm reading, especially like a Star Wars book, this pulp fiction kind of really fast sci-fi fantasy, I expect to get that hook within the first, I don't know, quarter of the book. I should be getting an idea of like, oh, I want to keep reading. This is interesting. That doesn't happen until 3/4 into the book. It's too little, too late at that point. And one of the biggest things that I disliked about this book is that the Jedi can't use the Force when they're in the competition. They can't use the lightsabers. So they're taking the most interesting things for these characters out of the book. So they just become like any other human. And when we're looking at characters like Jecki and Yord, we see them in the Acolyte. We want to see these guys, where they come from, a little bit more about their background, but we get really nothing about their background. We get nothing really about any of their cool combat abilities, let's say for a few moments towards the end. So overall, I got to give this one, unfortunately, a 4 out of 10. I just don't really recommend this to anybody. I'm a fan of the Acolyte, and even I was just kind of trudging along through this book. Again, I don't think this is really a fault of Tessa Gratton. She's just doing a job that was given to her by Lucasfilm, but I would really like to see Lucasfilm maybe take a different approach to her tie-in novels, and perhaps, you know, we have this Bad Batch Sanctuary book that's coming out that had already wrapped up. The Bad Batch season 2 had wrapped up years ago. So maybe they should just start doing things well after things are ended so that the authors know exactly what happens and they can get into it. Or they can just not do tie-in novels and have great books like Inquisitor or the Red Blade, Rise of the Red Blade by Delilah S. Dawson. Great book, brand new character from the comics, didn't have anything to do with anything. It was a nice standalone story. I would prefer those than something like this that unfortunately feels a little bit more like a senseless cash grab, unfortunately, I gotta say. So there you have it. Those were my thoughts on Star Wars, The Acolyte, The Crystal Crown. Are you going to pick this one up anyway? Let me know in the comment section down below. For more on Star Wars, you're in the right place. I have every single High Republic thing reviewed. I think that has come out from phase 1, 2, and 3. I know for sure, unless there's some like little ancillary materials like lightsaber books and all. You could check that playlist. You could check out all of my other Star Wars content and more. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you always.